stop shaking light. Dude, I broke my freaking Halo light. I broke my Halo
Uh-oh.
light. Look at this poverty, dude. You ready for this? Straight fucking Bin Laden's cave setup, dude. This is how he sent terrorist threats. Fucking missing the goddamn
Oh, that's good.
dialysis machine over
That's
here.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good shit, dude. Awesome. All right. Welcome to the Crash Podcast, episode 2, Cars and Recovery. Alex's story of being a human. Alex, my buddy,
What
how
up?
have you
What
been?
up? What up? Life is lifey, dude. Life has been lifey, to say the least. Been great. How have you been?
I've been good, man. Putting this podcast together, getting socials off the ground. Got a few coaching clients. Things are good.
Same boat, different demographic.
All good. All good. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's some crossover.
Yeah, social media is a tough one. Tough one, dude. I spent 4 hours
is.
making an edit thinking it's super sick just for like my mom and 3 friends to like it. I'm like, dude. Bro, like, I appreciate the support, but like followers, we'll get there.
Right? We'll get there. We'll
Yeah.
get there. So, the point of this podcast is I love the fact that I know a bunch of recovering addicts and alcoholics, and I love chopping it up with them. So, that's why I asked you to do this, and I really appreciate you agreeing to it. To start off
course.
with, let's dive in. Give me a short and sweet story about you, who you are.
Okay, short and sweet. I'm first generation in America. My parents came here as refugees from Baku, so I have an Armenian background. Was born and raised in Rose Park, Utah. So if anybody knows Rose Park, most of the white people are gonna take a long gasp and go, "Oh my God!" But it's really not that bad. I moved to Las Vegas, which is significantly shittier, for like 16 years when I was 10. Grew up in Vegas. Not the place for a kid. Don't raise your kids in Vegas. And yeah, man, became a
I'll
drug
agree with
addict,
that.
became a sober drug addict, and now going on to new avenues and living the dream, man.
Awesome. That's yeah, we met, man, it's got to be, well, I'm almost 13 years sober.
I
We
just
met
took
during my
13.
first round, so I know. You stayed sober. I went back out for 6 months, remember?
No, I don't.
I was there on a court card for a while, and then after my court card went off, I started smoking weed a little bit, which escalated into a beer, which escalated into vodka and cocaine, and then 6 months later, I was drinking a liter of vodka a day again, and I called up
Nice.
Joseph, who you know, again, because he was mine from before, and I was like, dude, I cannot live like this anymore. And he said to me, I hope it fucking hurts enough this time.
Yep.
And it
Where
did.
was this? Was this Serenity or GVG or what? It was Serenity, right?
Yep. No, this
Okay.
was Serenity. Serenity was 99% of my attendance. I went to GVG a few times. I went to like the Red Rock Club once or twice, but
Yeah, thank God Max yanked me out of Serenity quick, man. All I did was go to the HA meetings, and he's like, "Bro, you need like these are good, but like you need AA recovery." And I swear, he definitely saved my life. Don't get me wrong, but it's different now, bro. AA is not the same. Like 12-step recovery in general is just not the same, especially after COVID. It has become baby shit soft.
I
It
agree.
makes me angry. It makes me angry, man. Like I got sober in like the places like the Camel Club watching Mikey V yeet a 12 and 12 book at Austin's face because Austin kept relapsing, coming back and saying he's reading the big book. Like, I grew up around old timers literally throwing a book at your face and going, read the little one. You're too stupid to read the big one. And now everybody's like, these are my pronouns. And do we have feelings are real anonymous here now? I'm like, what? I mean,
Fuck your
I guess if
feelings.
it works. Yeah, like, I guess if it works for you, but like, seems like an outside issue. But hey, I mean, 2 or more people have a problem. You can start a fucking meeting, I guess. So, whatever.
That's true. I mean, on the basis, I guess it's true.
Yeah.
So let's bring it back to your story, buddy. Tell me about how addiction started for you. We're going to go through where it started, kind of like a good part of the struggle, some of your turning point. And then what is life like now?
Right. Yeah, I guess let's, what do we say? Qualify? Man, so again, first generation immigrants, right? So when I was going to school, even here in Utah, my parents didn't understand the culture, dude. Like at all. So I was being dressed in like, like the windbreaker material. It makes a bunch of noise when you walk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that fabric's
Mm-hmm.
called, but they would dress me like a freaking like 1986
Nylon.
Russian Olympist, nylon, whatever the hell it is, right? And so like I have full and like, dude, I had a lazy eye. I had these freaking straight up Coke bottle glasses. I'll send you some pictures. You can link them in here so people can laugh too, because it's funny. But dude, I looked like somebody you should have made fun of, and I definitely got made fun of. And then like
Funny
I'm the
thing is,
youngest kid
I
in the
had the
family, right?
same thing: a lazy eye and Coke bottle glasses.
I was also hairy as hell being Armenian from like the age of 5. Like I remember kids making fun of me in third grade, dude. So they're like, "Why are you so hairy?" And like your glasses. And like, dude, anyway, it was hell. And my sister's like 9 years older than me, and my cousin was like a brother to me. He's like 7, almost 8 years older. Well, dude, like I'd go to school, I'd get bullied, I'd come home, and he'd tell me not to touch his PlayStation. I would touch it. I wanted to play stuff, and then he would come home and beat the brakes off of me. Him and his friends would beat me up. So like I'd get made fun of at school. I'd come home, I'd get made fun of, and like this just continued, right? So then I moved to Vegas, and one weird thing that I don't hear a lot of people talk about. Do you remember the song "Sugar Sugar" by Baby Bash?
Oh yeah,
Do you remember
oh
when it was
yeah.
on the
Baby
radio
Bash
way
was
back in the day?
Brandy's nephew, wasn't it?
I think
Yep.
so. When that song was on the radio and it was still like a hitter, I specifically vividly remember that day that like I was hearing it on the radio, and it was the day before my life changed. Not like figuratively, right? I just remember like I felt free, I felt okay for the most part. I was with friends, we were skateboarding, weather was great. And then shortly after that, man, I smoked a blunt with my older cousin. We became best friends as I got older. I smoked a blunt with him. I think I was like 11. Now, before that, I accidentally got high. My dad gave me too much cough syrup, and I remember sitting on the couch and floating. And I really didn't put two and two together. I was like, Dad, something's wrong. And he's like, shit, dude, I gave you double the dose. Whoops, you'll be fine. And I didn't, to this day, I never really put two and two together there. Like, I didn't have an epiphany. My wires didn't go together and life became 4K HD. None of that happened. And I didn't understand any of it. But I will say, once, I was also fat growing up. I got fatter and fatter as I grew up. So, and my mom, like, again, typical like Soviet parents. So, anytime I ate something that was like not something that would be diet food, is like, hey, that's why you're getting fat. Hey, don't eat late at night. That's why you're getting fat. Hey, stop snacking. You're fat. So, and it wasn't necessarily like bullying or anything. It's just the Soviet style of talking, dude. Like especially in Russian, like we talk straight to the point. There's no beating around the bush. So yeah, man, I ended up like I'd hide food, I'd start eating, and I would hear her voice in my head, dude. And I was like, fuck, this sucks. And then I smoked a blunt and I got the munchies. And I swear, like right as getting stoned for the first time hit me, dude, I felt like I was just fucking like my shoulders dropped. I was like, this is great. I'm giggling. I ate a sandwich the size of a football, didn't hear a single voice in my head. And I was cognizant of this, right? Like the first time ever, I'm stoned and I'm going, I'm not worried. And I don't even
Yep.
hear my mom's voice in my head that this food is making me fat. And literally, I remember sitting, taking a bite of that sandwich, and I told myself, like, I want to smoke as much weed as often as possible for the rest of my life. And so I did. And that quickly turned into other things, man. I got grounded a lot. I swear, I always say this. I did like fucking 6 years hard time as a teenager, easily. I was perpetually grounded. But yeah, man, that just like it turned into more stuff. Then I started dabbling into stuff. I found out like my dad had he had like surgery, stents put in his heart, so he had some like hydrocodone. I started snorting that. I was like 11 years old when I started snorting that. Uh, and it just kept progressing, man, to weird stuff. Anything that could get me somewhat like a mind altering experience, I would do it. I remember like huffing gasoline straight out the
Yep.
gas can and coughing, not highlighters, like Sharpies, sniffing Sharpies, paint. Back in the day when Kmart was a thing, I'd go in there and just like inhale keyboard duster and walk around hearing my bell get rung.
Yep.
I
I've
would
done that.
steal like okay, here's the worst part too is I was like too smart for my own good, right? I was an honors student since like freshman year. I was always an honor student. Dude, I was on this forum back in the day when forums were really popping. Like it was called waytoomany.com. And there was like all sorts of shit. There was like your trip reports section, the like show your paraphernalia section. There was the how to make drugs section.
Hmm.
I was on there as a teenager, dude. Like I would ride my BMX bike to Lowe's, steal freaking morning glory seeds, and then do the process that I will not explain to extract LSA out of them. And literally trip balls in my parents in my parents' house. Like, that was the whole thing. And then the climax of that whole thing was I was with a buddy. I was at his house. He had the parents that would let you drink. His mom had she had the pink footballs. Like, I think they're like half milligram Xannies or whatever. And she would have blue Watsons all the time. So anyway, I went to his house. I remember this perfectly. I drank 3 Blue Moons and I took like 8 Lortab 10s, the blue Watsons, and like 2 Somas. And I
Damn.
was laying face down on his bed. I was like 15. I was 15 or so. I wasn't even driving yet, so I had to be 15. I was laying face down on his bed and I felt like I was floating. Like I legit had a spiritual experience. I was like, what the fuck is going on, dude?
Oh yeah.
And I just remember him going, dude, come here. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want to get off this bed. So I get off the bed, I go into the bathroom. He's freaking smoking heroin off foil. And I'm going, I freak out. And he's like, yo, chill, chill, chill. I'm like, dude, how much did you have? You're going to overdose. We need to call the ambulance. Like, it's heroin. Like, I didn't know shit, right? And this was like the dumbest thing, too, right? It gets dumber. He goes, no, dude, I'm smoking it. I go, what's your point? It's heroin. It can kill you. It's probably killing you right now. And he's like, no, dude, like, you get sick and throw up before you could smoke enough to like kill yourself. Sorry, to unalive yourself. And so I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, dude, you can't smoke if you're
Don't
throwing
worry,
up. I
dude.
was like,
I got edits.
it's fair. But yeah, he's like, you throw up before it'll take you out. I'm like, dude, so the body will tell you when you need to stop. And so he's like, dude, you want to try it? I'm like, no. He's like, you should try it. I'm like, no. He's like, you're right. Don't try it, dude. I can't get off of it since I got on it. And I kind of sat there and I watched him sitting on the edge of the tub. And I'm like, all right, let me try it. He's like, no. I'm like, you fucking piece of shit, bro. Like, let me try it. He's like, no. I was like, if you don't let me try it, I'm going to go downstairs and talk to your mom about you smoking heroin in her bathroom. So you're going to fucking let me try it. So he did. And I vividly
Mm.
remember the next morning, I woke up, I was sleeping on the floor next to his bed. I opened and I had a bottle of Kettle One in there, half full. Again, don't ask me why we were doing this shit at 15. Like, we were already too far gone, right? But I opened the drawer at 7 in the morning or so, grab the bottle of Kettle One, and I start drinking it. First thing as I open my eyes. And he kind of hears some rustling and he turns around and he goes, dude, what the fuck? It's 7 in the morning. I go, dude, I had a bad dream. He's like, what? I'm like, I had a dream we did heroin. He's like, that wasn't a dream. I was like, come again. And that's the first time I ever felt that incomprehensible demoralization where I was like, something changed. I can't bounce back from this. I am now dirty from the inside out. And that just continued, man. I remember like, I was
Yeah.
like, I'll never do that again, dude. Like that was a one time thing. I'm not hooked. Later that day, we're at GVR walking around high as hell on heroin. And then this continued, dude. I ended up, I'm not going to say who, because I'm not going to incriminate nobody, but I ended up being a runner for a few guys in Vegas. And so dude, I did like 50,000 miles in 1 year and I never left the state just selling tree. And I would run tree all the fucking time. And it ended up basically being like, I did it for a few years. And the worst part was I got myself off of it. So I asked my sister for help because I was like, dude, I can't detox at my parents' house. So my sister let me detox at her house. And this was back in the day where, again, too smart for my own good. I found out that Imodium, the over-the-counter anti-diarrhea med, is an opiate that doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier. So if you take enough of it, i.e., damn near a whole bottle, you hit opiate receptors and basically slow down your detox side effects. And then you wean yourself off. Again, not going to go into it, but that's what I did. It still sucked, but I weaned myself off for about like 5 days at her house. And I quit for like a year, dude. For a total year, I was like, I am the shit. I don't know nobody that's ever stopped heroin on their own, without intervention, without a rehab or nothing. And I just continued selling tree. And every now and then I'd get a craving. I'd take like a quarter of a Suboxone. And only a dope fiend will understand this, but Suboxone makes you nod out like this, and heroin makes you nod out like this. There's a difference. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, long story short, I got back on it, dude. I got back on it, and it all started with like, again, I like to smoke a lot of trees, so I was smoking a quarter ounce a day to the face. I can't afford that, so I got to sell it. And the next thing you know, it's like, oh well, You know, the homie wants a dub, and I know the homie that wants a dub of tree also has blue Watsons. So I'm like, dude, run me 8 Watsons. I'll give you a gram and a half. I'll hook it up fat. And then I eat all 8 of them, and I'm like, this shit's bunk, bro. All right, I'll get some Roxy's. Fucking Rockers started being $30 a pop back then, the blue M's, right? So I'm like, and in my head, right, typical fiend, I'll buy 3. I only go through 1 or 2 a day. So this is good for 2 days, even though it's $90. And then I'm like, I literally get all 3, and none of that is in the afterthought. It's like I smoke one after snorting one, and the first thing I did was eat one. That's it. Poof, it's gone. I'm like, I'm just gonna call in Vegas. I don't know about you, but in Vegas we always called him the Bean because it was just a Mexican cartel, bro. You make a call, he spits some shit in Spanish on a walkie-talkie, and all you're ever fucking told is 10 minutes, 10 minutes, and this motherfucker could be taking 3 hours, 30 seconds. You never know. All you knew is that when he said 1 minute, he already passed you. You better catch that car. So that's what ended up happening, dude. And then I ended up detoxing really bad, really freaking bad. It got to the point where like my parents were having me hit the bong while I'm on the toilet, while I have a bucket in front of me because it's coming out of both ends. I can't stop vomiting. I have a video I can send you if you want for this. My mom actually recorded it. It's me in the ICU or whatever. Um, I'm on a LD50 dose basically of all 3 cancer nausea medications that the hospital had at the time. And I'm still throwing up bile because I'm dry heaving so hard. There's a video of it. It's not great quality, but there's video of it. You don't see anything, but you just see me dry
Sure.
heaving and miserable. But yeah, man, I ended up going to Solutions Rehab after that. And that's where I met Colin, bro. And I hated Colin at first. Rest in peace, Colin, man. That's the kid that like initially changed my
Yeah.
life because he would cook bacon in the microwave at the rehab, bro, and I was still detoxing. And I'm like gagging in the morning and like, dude, what the fuck? Like, all I could eat was Oreos, and I smoked like 4 packs of Pall Mall menthol hundreds every day. That was my thing. That was my food.
Ugh,
Yeah, it was bad, dude. I came there with a carton. My parents got me a carton of cigarettes. It was gone in a day and a half. So that's all
jeez.
I could do. And I asked Colin, I was like, dude, what the fuck are you even in here for? He's like, smoking weed. I was like, you're in rehab because you smoke weed. How do you do weed wrong, stupid? And he's like, I like heroin. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What do you mean? He's like, well, I smoke weed, then I buy a lot of weed, and then I always end up on heroin. And that's when it clicked. And I was like, motherfucker, that's me. That's me. Yeah, it was bad, dude. Funny story too. Also, Colin, about a week after, almost a week into that rehab, I only was there for a week at the Dapple Gray House. My stomach started hurting, and it felt like I was starting to get detox sides again. And I started freaking out. And I'm like, dude, something's wrong. Something's wrong. I don't feel good. I don't feel good. And Colin's like, what? I'm like, dude, my stomach's killing me. He's like, when's the last time you took a shit? I'm like, 10 days, I think. He's like, go sit on the toilet. I went and take a shit and went away. I was like, what? That's how fucked up we get though. Like,
Oh yeah.
I had
Oh yeah.
no idea what my body was doing, bro. Like the feeling, like your stomach hurts. The idea didn't come to my head that I needed to poop. It was like, fuck, I need more heroin. I'm detoxing again. Why? I don't know. Like it was wild, bro. It was wild. So fucking wild. But yeah, it's kind of my qualification, man. I was completely out of my mind. Out of my mind, bro. Like I'll even share this too, because this shit's funny, and then I'll shut up. I had a girlfriend when I got sober, right? And I started hearing all sorts of shit in the rooms, like you might not like the same music after you get sober. You might not like your girlfriend after you get sober because you're not under the influence. They might not like you sober, whatever, right? Dude, like I think I was like 60, 45 or 60 days in almost. And it's the little man downstairs ain't working, dude. Like he just ain't working. Like I'm trying with the girlfriend and it ain't working. And I start freaking out, right? I'm sitting in the meeting and I'm scratching my head. I'm going, I've been getting high since I was 11. What if I'm gay sober? And I was like, that doesn't make sense though. Like, I really like tits. Tits are nice. What the fuck? Like, I like the tits, but like, my man downstairs ain't working, bro. Like, what the fuck's happening? So I started freaking out. And you remember Bobby? Bobby had like 6 months or some shit at the time when
Hmm.
I had like barely
Yeah.
60 days. I'm like, Bobby, you did heroin. He's like, yeah. I was like, did your dick work? He's like, when? I'm like, I don't know. I got 60 days. Motherfucker still don't work. He's like, no, dude, like it took like 90 days at least. I was like, I swear to God, dude, if I'm gay sober, I will die a drug addict on heroin straight. I'm not doing this shit. I'm like, if 90-day chip comes around and I can't bang my girl, I'm going out. I'm not doing this. That's how fucking neurotic I was, dude. It's fucking wild.
That's a good one.
I got sponsors telling me like, bro, you don't understand. I'm like, buddy, let me tell you a story. Let me
Let me
tell you the
tell you.
90-day story. If you sat in a meeting and wondered if you like tits enough to not be gay and sober, because I did. Shit.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one, man. So how was okay, we know how the first 60 and 90 days went. How was the rest of that first year?
It was rough. We end up having a few people that are really close to us in our using days. We call them like our best friends, best using friends or whatever, right? Dude, in the first 3 months,
Yeah.
in the first month, I lost my uncle to colorectal cancer. That was at 30 days. At 60 days, I lost a buddy, Taylor. He was one of the kindest people you'll ever meet. He overdosed. At 3 months, a kid that I always was with as well, who's like my best friend in the using portion of life. He passed away. Um, at around 6 months, my grandma went to the hospital and she was dying. And I would go visit her and then go to my meeting. Sometimes I would come back and visit her again. And I knew she knew she was going, and I knew she was going. Because she was telling me stories when it was just her and I that only she knew about my childhood. Like she didn't want those memories to not be there, right? So I watched her slowly pass
That's
away
awesome.
till about 9 months. Just around when she passed away, the girlfriend I got sober with, she got spooked that I was sober, and I mean, we talked about it years later, but nonetheless, she was like, "What the fuck do I have to stop doing? Like stuff like I want to drink." All sorts of weird questions. What if we get married? You're not going to have a glass of champagne. All the nonsense questions at 19, right? Because I got sober at 19.
Yep.
So broke up with her,
Yeah.
lost my grandma. Right after I took a year, shortly before or shortly after, my dad ended up having a heart attack, and they ended up putting 8 stents in his heart. And at that point, that was kind of a beginning of a turning point. My dad, I went to visit him, and he basically was like, "Don't worry, if anything happens, I know you'll take care of mom." So it was already there. He was already starting to trust me more, right? And yeah, man, like it just, thank
That's
God
got
he
to
was
mean the
okay.
world, dude.
Yeah, yeah. My mom ended up telling me that he was on the phone with her crying after I left. He hid it from me, but again, Soviet dad. But yeah, man, like that was like the first year, man. So I had every excuse to not, continue. I will tell you too that so I was in IOP for 90 days, and that was my whole plan, was what my sponsor Max always says: get, back problems, get the girl back, the job back, the trust back, the car back, and then I was gonna go back out. And I literally had it planned. I was like, I'm gonna smoke a fat fucking blunt the second I graduate IOP, because we overcorrected a little bit. I was just, heroin's bad. You know what I mean? Like, this is, God made weed. It's good. So not that weed's bad. I'm just an
Right.
idiot. But
Well, he made poppies too.
yeah, he didn't make heroin, for fuck's sakes. Uh, Nonetheless, you can go down that fucking rabbit hole, right? Like, he made poison dart frogs, so it's not murder.
This is
But
true. This is true.
I remember vividly, man. It was like I got my 90 days. I was so happy, and I lay down on the bed and I was about to go to sleep, and I went, I was supposed to get high today. I don't feel like it. That was the first time I noticed the obsession left. And so, sorry to backtrack, but yeah, man, that was like the first
No, you're
year,
good, dude.
just making amends, man, making amends. Like, and dude, the sponsorship's so crucial. Like, and I needed what Max was, you know what I mean, and what he is, and he's matured a lot as I've matured. Like when he first sponsored me, he called me punk ass, then punk ass kid, then kid. Now he calls me like junior, like I'm his son. You know what I mean? Like, because I've matured a lot. Like fucking 30, 32 now, 32 now. I was 19 when he sponsored me, man, and it's crazy too, because I have as much time now as he did when I asked him to sponsor me. And I've been sober 4 years longer than I used. So I'm like, this is all trippy. But yeah, man, I called him. I was like, Max, my grandma passed away. He's like, I'm so sorry to hear that. But you had multiple grandmas, and that was your mom's only mom. So shut the fuck up and go ask her what she needs help with. It's not all about you. And then the same thing, Max, my dad had a heart attack. He's like,
Damn.
I'm sorry to hear that. Shut the fuck up. Go ask your mom what she needs help with. It's not all about you. And then the second time my dad had a heart attack, I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not even going to fucking call him. Shut the fuck up, Ma. What do you need help with? That's what I needed, though, because we're selfish people, right? It's about how I feel, what I'm going through,
Yes.
and
Yep.
fuck everybody
Yeah.
else. So getting out of that
Yeah.
selfishness and self-centeredness was crucial. I still use it to this day. Like something bad happens. All right, where can I help?
You and me
Who can
both.
I help? What can I do? Yeah. It's
100%.
been a trip, man. It's been a trip.
That's definitely valuable info, and it's something I still personally live to. Like, I mean, in different ways, but the one that rings true to my head right now is when I celebrate a birthday, Joseph will call me and say, "You're the fucking chef, cook yourself a cake, shut up. Do you want a pat on the back for doing what you're supposed to do?"
Yeah. Dude, we need that shit though, right? Cuz like
Yeah, we do.
this is so funny because it's like we all do this shit, and that's why when somebody shares in a meeting, you're like, damn, how do they know me so well? It's like because we're all the same in this room, bro. Like I remember an old timer sharing, like, listen, asshole, you don't put the shopping cart back to look around the parking lot and see who is there from the program to see you doing a good deed. That's not humility. That's not, what's the other word I'm looking for? Doing the right thing when no one's watching. What's the fucking word? I know the definition,
Anonymity,
but no, when you
integrity.
integrity, right? And so he's like, it's not how this works. And I was like, fuck, I've done that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't just do
Yep.
good things because you think somebody might be around to see you do it. Like it counts where there's nobody to see it. And then the whole thing, like, my Max did this shit to me all the time. Did you do something nice for someone today? Yeah. What'd you do? And I would tell him, he goes, great. Now it doesn't count because you told somebody. You don't get a pat on the ass. Go do something else today. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
But it's what we
Yep.
need, man.
This is so true. It tricks us into being pleasant human members of society
Just a decent
because we
average
had no
citizen.
fucking clue of how to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my only goal.
Yep.
Decent average
So,
citizen.
yeah, I can dig that. I mean, I got a few more that I'm a parent now, but yeah, overall, a decent average citizen. I can dig that. I can get behind that 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying like don't do great things if it's going to put you in the eye of the public. No, I'm just saying like as a bare bones like foundation, all I'm trying to be like today, if
Yep.
all I do is don't lie, cheat, steal, stay sober, and somewhat provide something to the stream of life, whether people see it or only one person is gains something from it, or I just make people laugh when they're having a bad day, or I make their day better because they already had a good day and I made them laugh. Cool. I'm a decent average citizen. You know what I mean? I don't need to look for a burning building and save a cat. It's all fucking good. If the opportunity arises, sure. You know what I mean? But it keeps you back, like me. It keeps me grounded. Like chill the fuck out, dude. We're not here to be Superman and be on the news.
Yeah. I'd count that as a win. If I don't lie,
Yeah.
cheat, steal, manipulate, verbally abuse somebody, or do some sort of shithead thing and stay sober, that's a win day. That's a fucking win to me. And I look back at when I was a week, 30 days, 90 days, 6 months, even a year, and I'm looking at these, dude, they say it in so many meetings that when you're 30 days, you hear all these people with like, I've got 10 years, 5 years, 12 years, and you think they're full of shit. I thought they were full of shit. Like, I don't know how I got here other than just today. And then tomorrow it's today. And then the next day it's today. So I still don't feel like I have 12 years. I feel like I have today. Maybe a couple more, but
Yeah.
today, that's it.
It's weird how the
And
how the
somehow
brain
along
will
those
play
lines, I've
tricks on
learned to be
you.
a decent human.
Right. It's like I share this all the time in meetings, man. It's like I don't think anybody like I just took 13 years. I believe that's close to 13,000 days almost, if I recall.
No,
Something like
no, no,
that.
you're off. It's like
No,
5,000
sorry.
days.
Six, yeah, like 6,000. You're right. Sorry, I doubled it. But even 6,000 days, even 2,000 days, most people you'll ever ask, they haven't went and took a shit every day for 2,000 days straight. And that's just a normal human body. I'm not even talking about brushing your teeth because
Yep.
there's times you're late to work. You pop in a fucking gum and you go because you're late. You know what I mean? So it's like doing the simplest things. Like your body tells you when you got to poo. And you even haven't done that consecutively for 2,000 days or 6,000 days. So staying sober for any amount of time is hard, dude. Especially when you start to think about
Mm-hmm.
it. And it's like, but then your brain will play tricks on you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I hear Max always told me like it's in the teens when you see people go out. Cause like, dude, after a decade, I've heard everything there is to hear in a meeting. Like on occasion, I'll hear something where I'm like, damn, I needed to hear that. but it's nothing new. It's nothing that's gonna,
Yeah.
there's no epiphany like when I was a year or two sober. It's just like another meeting. And I'm honestly not there for me. I am, but I'm there to like bring something to the newcomer or share something that they relate with, right? So
Yeah.
to give it back so I can keep it. And so at times it's like I'll hear people like, if I don't go to a meeting for a week, I'm off. I'm like, I didn't go to one for 3. I was fine. And
Yeah.
that's the problem. That's the problem. Like, because then your brain will be like, do we have to? I really got to do this bullshit every day for the
Yeah.
rest of my life? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially when you get busy, you get kids, you get a job, you have careers, you have businesses, you have hobbies. I'm not even talking about like how they would always tell us, like, man, believe me, dude, if you keep skipping a meeting for that girl, it ain't gonna work. You know, I'm not even talking about like
Right.
miss the meeting so you can get some creme de la meow meow. I'm talking about like life, just actual life. And it's like gets really easy to go,
Yeah.
do I have to? And that's where
Yeah.
you just go. You don't want to, you go. You want to, you go. You know what I mean? If you got time to
Yeah.
get some ass, you got time for a meeting.
Yeah, I'll be the first one to admit that my meetings are not nearly as regular. Okay. My
Same.
sit down group style meetings are not as regular as they were for probably the first like 7, 8 years. But
Yep.
I drive around a lot for work now and I try to catch these Zoom meetings, which they're not the same, but it's something. And I talk to a lot of sober people all the time. So, in the essence, 2 sober people talking about staying sober is a meeting.
I just had that
Yeah,
conversation with Max,
my recovery
and
has definitely changed.
yes, and I'm now trying to do better with that because I'm like, dude, this is starting to scare me a little bit, especially once the head starts to tell me, do I have to? I feel great, and it's been 2 weeks. Maybe I don't need this. I'm like, and that's my cue. But I was talking to Max. I go,
Yep.
dude, you always said live in AA, visit the world. I go, but dude, I'm a mechanic. We own a shop. I provide honest goods and services. I don't screw people over. I give them better work and overdo my job than what they're even paying for. I return wallets if I find them. I do good stuff. I don't really tell anybody about it. I don't want to pat on the ass about it. I live in the principles. I'm like I practice these principles in all my affairs as much as I am capable of doing so. I am flawed. I fall short plenty, but I do this on a daily basis. I talk to multiple people from the program. My clients are people from the program. My best friends from the program. We talk every day. I go to a meeting once a week, maybe once every other week if it's really busy at work, blah, blah. And his response was, that's not living in AA. And I go, I know. It's practicing these principles in all my affairs. It's not the exact same. I'm like, son of a bitch, man. I got to do better, you know? He's not saying go to like 5 meetings a day or some shit, but it's like, dude, like
Yeah.
one, like you can do 2, dude. Like you probably had time to go get laid twice this week, but you only made time to go to a meeting once. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to say the same
Yeah.
shit back to myself that I say to people. I have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just a fucking fraud. So
Yeah.
it's
I
tough.
get it.
It's tough,
And I mean,
man.
and I can think of all the excuses in the world. I mean, throw 2 toddlers and a wife into that mix, and a house, and my full time job, and starting a business and doing things like this on the side.
There isn't enough
I
time in
get
the
it.
day,
I
bro.
get it.
There isn't enough time in the day. It's
Yeah.
like, and by the time I have time, I don't have the energy. And if I have the energy, I don't have the time. And lately, I have neither. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I
fuck,
get it.
dude.
I get it.
But it's still bullshit because I hit the gym 5 days a week. So I got time and energy for that, don't I? You know what I mean? Like I gotta be honest.
You want to see my gym? It's right over there. I have a home gym because I don't have. If I go to a gym, it adds 30 to 45 minutes of time being
Yep.
away from the house because I get up at 5 and I'm working out by like 5:30, 5:45.
You're a
Because then the
better man
kids
than
get up
me.
at 7 and then we got to get them ready and I got to get ready, and that's the only time. I tried
Yeah.
doing evenings and then I'm away from dinner and then I'm up too late and then I wake up late. Like, dude, it sucks to wake up at 5 a.m., but it's the literally only time. My wife sits at the desk and she does her work and I work out and kind of watch the news for traffic and fucking weather and whatever stupid shit's
Right.
happening locally.
Yeah. Routine, man. And that routine will change.
Yeah.
The kids get older, they change
Oh yeah.
schools,
Yep.
districts,
Yep.
all sorts of shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
it doesn't end.
Oh
And
yeah. No.
again, like I grew up in this program. Right? Max, I can't find a balance. He would always laugh at me. What the the fuck do you mean a balance? He's like, dude, I'm 60. I don't even know what a balance is. You find balance when you're fucking horizontal underground. That's when you find balance. It's like, do the best you can. I'm like, all right. You know, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? You know?
I'm gonna steal that. I like that. You find balance when you're horizontal on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
You
steal
know,
that.
like it we have a Russian saying for that conundrum. And translating it from Russian is when I stand up, my head hurts. When I sit down, my ass hurts. You can't find the right place. Whether you stand or you sit, it's uncomfortable. So figure it out. It's the way it is.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess that was a good. I mean, we already went through a lot of it, but what's life like now? What are the rewards? All the promises have been fulfilled. So what are they? What do they look like in your life, man?
Dude, I got like 3 girlfriends right now. Massive bank account. All 3 of them have different size tits too, so it's great depending on my preference, you know. No, I'm fucking with you, dude. That's not the promise. You know what the promises are? When your dad calls you and asks you for advice on whether or not you think that he should buy the house and you don't have a goddamn clue about real estate because he trusts your opinion. That's a promise. You know what I mean?
Yep,
When people can rely on you,
100%.
when family calls you and they're worried about you, not because you're doing something wrong, but like, hey, everything good? Just checking. Not because you did anything. You know, dude, I was 3.5 years sober. My parents left town and forced me to stand in front of the security camera to prove that I was home and not lying. I had no right to get angry because I did good for a little bit all the time. Who am I to fucking lie to them for years and then they're supposed to trust me even in 3 years? You know what I mean? Promises, dude. Cops pull me over. I don't give a fuck. You gonna give me a ticket? No, not a ticket. Like I don't have a quarter pound of weed in the trunk, bagged out in a fucking eighths. Okay, it's a speeding ticket, not a felony. That feels good. You know, like it just feel like, oh, we got to drug test you for this. Okay. You know, all the things money can't really buy, man. Like money can't buy that. Money can't like I'll give you one. When I was doing dope, my childhood best friend Robert. This is a really cool story. I'll shorten it up real quick. He watched me get sober. He was the only
We
one that
got time,
visited
dude.
me at the rehab. Okay, perfect. So Robert was my childhood best friend since I was like 10, 11. He watched me become a drug addict. He watched me start doing heroin. He always asked me, when are you going to stop, bro? When are you going to stop, bro? He knew when I didn't answer his phone call that I didn't want to talk to him because I had shame. And I knew it by my voice, he would hear I was fucked up. He still stayed my best friend. And when I got sober, he came to visit me at the rehab. And the day I went to rehab and my mom said that she was home crying, he took it upon his own will to make it over to my parents' house and spend time with my mom. And when she asked, why are you here? He said, because I know you're going through a tough time. So that's the type of friend he was, right? And he ended up getting cancer at like 22. A cancer that UCLA has only
Shit.
ever seen 3 cases of, ever. He was the 4th case. He had spinal cord cancer. He went to sleep one day, woke up the next day paralyzed from the waist down overnight. And
Damn.
I watched him, yeah, I watched him wither away for a few years. I think it was 2, 3 years. Yeah, something like that. And it's funny. He lost his hair because of chemo. So I was like, dude, I'll shave my head. You're my brother. You know, we called each other brothers. And I'd go visit him and spend time with his family and try to repay that debt. Right, the least I could do. But he watched my clean, clear, sober eyes
Yeah.
every fucking day. You know, my grandma watched my clean, clear, sober eyes every day. And her gravestone has a poem that I wrote about her life and how it affected me and what she did for all of us. So those are the promises, you know. And when he ended up passing away, so this is the cool part. It's fucked up, but it's cool. The cancer metastasized to his brain and he began losing his vision. He lost all motor function. The only thing he couldn't see, he couldn't really do anything except hear and control his breathing. He couldn't really control his swallowing either. And that was his last little bit. The last conversation I ever had with him, he passed away the next day, was crazy. His girlfriend put the phone on his chest. And because we've been friends for so long, I would ask him a question and his breathing would be sporadic. And then I would guess what he's trying to say. And when I would figure it out, his breathing would calm down. And that's the conversation we had for, I think it was close to an hour or 30 minutes. And he ended up passing away the next day. And that's the promises, dude, because you don't get to do that shit not sober. You know what I mean? You don't show up for people. You don't do none of that. The best thing I did when I was using drugs was I'd smoke dope in my girlfriend's bathroom, and she had a 6-month-old child at the time, right? She didn't know what I was doing. And I'd walk out of that bathroom high on heroin. And I felt so fucking dirty. I stopped touching that kid and holding that kid. The kid loved me. I refused to hold him because I was afraid that me just touching an innocent child, I was so disgustingly dirty from the inside out that my touch would take away the innocence of that kid just by touching it. That's how fucking, that's incomprehensible demoralization, in my opinion. So,
Yep.
promises wise, man, like freedom. We have freedom today. I have freedom today. I have trust today, right? And now it's like I get to work a dream job. Like I've always dreamed of working on race cars and building cars, driving fast shit. I get to do that for a living now. I get to build cool stuff all the time. And I work with my best friend. He's my brother, basically. And when my childhood best friend passed away, he always wanted a tattoo. He was in a ancient Egyptian mythology. There's a myth where they weigh your heart against the feather. If your heart is lighter than the feather, you get to go to the heavenly gods, right? So he wanted that tattoo really bad.
Yeah.
He didn't get it because he passed away. His brother and his sister designed it, and I got it for him. So that was cool
Nice.
too. So he gets to live on like that. And then I tried to grow my hair out, and I was bald by that point. And I was like, all right, fucker, I'll remember you till my last days. You know what I mean? Like, I had hair when I started shaving it, and then it's gone. So he'd get a kick out of that. But yeah, man, dude, that's the fucking promises, dude. Like later on in sobriety, I had a lot of hormonal issues. I was malpracticed by a doctor. That's a story in and of itself. But I ended up extremely suicidal, and they put me on antidepressants, and I didn't know any better. And yeah, I ended up being I stopped weighing myself after 258 pounds, and I got significantly fatter after that. So I just averaged it at roughly around 270. And then I fucking snapped. I went ghost mode, went off all social media, didn't post for like 2 years almost. And
Yeah, dude, you disappeared for a year, over a year.
yeah, about 19, 20 months. And dude, it was bad. Like I weaned myself off the Wellbutrin. Do not recommend it. I read a Harvard study and weaned myself off. Um, I went to close to a dozen doctors, blood work over 18 times. Just my testosterone was that of a female. My estrogen was undetectable. Horrible. We tried to figure out what it was. Brain scans, MRIs, ultrasounds on my balls, like everything. Nothing worked. And so still managed to lose, I think it was 60 pounds by that point in that condition. But dude, it was rough. It's really rough to be I think I was 8 years, 9 years, 8, 9 years sober at the time, 8.5, 9 years. And dude, I had to give my gun to my brother. I lived with him. I knew where all his guns were. I was very suicidal. Dude, it was a lot of just me and God did a lot of miles on the treadmill. A lot. I'd pull up to the gym sober almost a decade, have everything to live for. And I'm going, dude, if my parents see me with my brain splattered, it'll kill them. It will literally kill them. Because they're going to go, what the fuck? How did we fail him again? Right? Because that's what they thought. And
Yeah.
dude, I'd pull up to the gym and make deals with myself. Like if I don't feel better after the cardio, I'll go home and I'll put the AK-47 in my mouth. And I just kept doing that. And every time I got off the treadmill, I felt better. Next thing you know, I'm down 60 pounds, then 80, then 100, then 110. And I'm going, what the fuck, dudes? Again, in the principles of the program, I'm like, dude, I'm trying to give it away to keep it. So now I try to help other guys and talk to them and get people like, dude, you know what's like? It sounds weird, but like the promises are fucking so weird because even outside of AA, you get promises. Like when I get a phone call from somebody and they're going, dude, thank you so
Mm-hmm.
much. I feel so much better. Like my doctor didn't tell me shit. Like, thank you for recommending this clinic or this doctor. And thank you for like doing this and this. I feel so much better. I feel like I'm back to my normal self again. It's been years. Like my energy, my mood. I'm happier in my relationship. Like, I don't post that anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I don't just sit there and try to get a pat on my ass, but it's like, dude, that is so fucking spiritually the payment it gives you. It's like a
Yep.
spiritual payment. Like it
It's a
fills the
it's
cup that was a hole. Yeah. Yeah. Like it feels so fucking good, dude. It's like I got to help better someone's life. And then, dude, like the crazy part was like, I still get messages to this day. So many people, like probably over a dozen around me just because like I went in my full villain arc mode and was like, fuck everything. I'm gonna prove everybody wrong. And then people start messaging me like, dude, I'm down 40 pounds. I saw what you did. You inspired me. Ralph just passed away. Rest in peace, Ralph. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah.
Me and Ralph
I
were on the
know
phone.
Ralph. I knew
Yeah,
Ralph.
yeah. And dude, we were on the phone or we were
I
texting
didn't
back and
know he
forth. He was
passed
supposed to
away,
call
so
me. He passed away, man. He had a heart attack. He had a widowmaker. So that was what, 4 weeks ago?
rest in peace,
Yeah,
Ralph.
it's like even even Ralph reached out. He was like, dude, I'm starting my journey. Like, what do you recommend? I'm like, dude, give me a holler. Let's chat. Next thing I know, he's gone. But it's been
Yeah.
I would say this. You know what the fucking promises are? Made real simple. When the people around you either tell you directly or the people around you tell all the people around you in your circle without you in the presence how much you've either benefited their life one way or another. When people value you without you having to ask for it, that is the fucking promises. Because drug addicts are not valued, and thieves of time and leeches of life are not valued. So if you got people saying good things about you, you know what I mean? Like, you hear from somebody else, like,
Yep.
yeah, dude, your dad always talks about you. He's so proud of you. It's like, well, fuck, he never says it to my face. But it's like, that's good. That's the promises. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
the Soviet
Yeah.
mentality, bro. Dad hammers down on you, and then all of dad's friends are like, dude, he's always talking about you. He's so proud of you. And it's like, really?
Had me fooled. Yeah.
I know he is.
That's awesome,
Uh,
man.
we're older now, but it pays well, man. What was it saying? Page 62 to 63. God is my employer. He pays well as long as I do his work well. God's old. He moves slow,
Mm-hmm.
but then paychecks never bounce. I'll tell you that much.
True story. Honest pay for honest
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. You ever seen that Mike Myers meme where he's staring out the window with a knife, just waiting?
Mm-mm.
No.
I don't think so.
I always think about that. I've seen it in one of the recovery groups. It's like Mike Myers just staring out the window blinds at the porch, and it's like me checking in on God for if he answered my prayers yet. And I'm like, dude, that's me. God moves slow. Bro. It's just like, no, not yet.
Shit.
Good times, man. Good times.
It'll come.
Is it
Well,
trippy for
dude,
you to?
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, man. There's
What
not
are
a
you
lot
saying?
of
Is
us,
it
dude.
trippy for me? What?
Is it trippy for you to like? What's it like for you, man? How's the promises for you?
I have, well, pretty much since I got sober, I've made the choice to leave every job I've left rather than being fired. I have people that rely on me. Like I see this meme, I've seen it in a couple different ways. The meme says, you call people to handle things. People call me to handle things. We are not the same. And I used to be the former, and now I am the latter.
Yep. Yep.
In all the best ways. I don't do the things that I used to do with ski masks and black hoodies. I mean, I did those things back then, but I have kids. Like they are the reasons number 1 and 2 that there's nothing that alcohol or drugs would add to my life right now. Nothing. Like, and
Funny, huh? You
per
get
my
to look
handle, hold
back
my
at.
NA beer. I do enjoy my NA beers from time to time, but I drink them like I think a normal person would drink because I've left them half full and forgotten about them. And there's no effect in it. I drink it purely for the taste, which they have some pretty good tasting craft NA beers nowadays. But I don't have that fear. Like he's talking about getting pulled over. Pull me over. I don't care. I have absolutely nothing to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Literally, dude.
in many, many figurative ways, there is no monkey on my back at all.
100%. Still lots
And
of lessons.
that to me, always, every day. And I don't even know when it really shifted because early in sobriety, we're still selfish and self-centered. And I still have tendencies here and there. But I look at the world and the people around me as to how can I add to their life? How can I add to their day? What can I be of service in the
Yep.
rooms, outside the rooms, in a Zoom call, on social media? The whole reason I started this Hold My NA Beer is to be of service, is
Yep.
because I mean, I was trying to think of some sort of a side hustle, of some sort of talent or whatever that I have. And it just dawned on me one day that you have many, many years of experience of doing the wrong thing and getting yourself out of it with the help of others. So help others. And it just seems so simple. So this is my mission. This is my crusade now. It's to chop it up with people like you, share stories, and be a source of comedy, inspiration, and help. Because
Yeah.
I am at a point to where I can help others now. So I choose to.
So it's our duty, man. Like there's you, me, what from 13 years ago, Serenity, the people that got sober around us that we all got sober with,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I know
90%,
Joseph, there's
95%,
Dano
like
and Richard.
what would I know of two, maybe? And that's including me with I think
Who's
like
the
one
other
other
one?
person.
There's one more. She didn't really hit the midnight, but she did the Sunday meditation meeting. Nichelle with an N. I
Ooh, I
just
haven't
saw
heard
her on
that name in a long
Facebook the
time.
other day. It was her birthday. I wished her happy birthday, and she said thanks. So I know she's still around.
Yeah, basically, like what, a handful and a half? Like, there's
Yeah.
not a lot of people, man. One of us, just you spend a decade in these rooms. This isn't like some fucking thing to brag about. It's just the truth. I've witnessed more
No.
death firsthand than people would in 10 lifetimes. And that's just been just over a decade. It's like, it gets to a point where you're like,
Yep.
ah, he died. Like you almost become very like you get anhedonia to it. You're just like, oh, another one. You
There's
know, like
one more person. I'm gonna edit this out, and I'll say his first name, Michael. But Michael the Canadian. I'll put it that way. I'll edit it out, but Michael Badger.
yeah,
Yeah, he's still around.
yeah.
It was his birthday like a month or so ago. I commented
Was
on
it?
something and he commented back. So he's still around. I don't know where he is, but I know he's still around.
You remember
So,
Tell?
mm-mm.
His name was Tell.
No.
Bald dude,
I
really
remember
tall.
Bogdan.
Bogdan, bro. I remember Bogdan and his Bogdan and who else was it? Bogdan and Misha. It was Bogdan and
I don't
Misha.
know if I remember Misha, but I do remember Bogdan.
He was always with Bogdan. Those two Estonians.
Okay.
Or Art, if you remember Art. Art was like my second sponsor.
I do remember Art. I do remember
Yeah,
Art.
slick back hair, ended up getting locked up. HA was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
HA was crazy. When HA first started, it was wild, man. Like, I think like half that meeting ended up getting HIV. The other 40% of the
Yeah.
remainder was like locked up and dead. I was like, what the fuck, dude? What is going on? It's crazy, man. You know, I
Yeah.
sat that meeting and I was like, everybody's talking about using needles. I don't like needles. Always hated needles. So I asked the meeting, I said, do I have to shoot dope to be in here? And they're like, no, don't do it. I was like, oh, they're like, you're good. Stay. And then I like later, way later, right? I was like, one of the biggest like famous drug addicts was like Steve-O from Jackass and Eminem.
Yeah.
Both of them are sober.
Yeah.
Both of them never used a needle. I was like,
And
okay, we're
now
good.
the other one from Jackass too.
Bam
What was his name?
Margera.
He's a huge online presence. No, it's not Bam. It's his buddy. I want to say Ryan or something.
Knoxville. Ryan Knoxville. No, not
No,
Johnny
not
Knoxville.
Knoxville. That's Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, not Johnny
But yeah,
Knoxville.
he's
You're
all over
yes,
online and sober. He like
long hair.
sponsored a clinic.
Yeah, I heard his story. He has a
Yeah, he's
he shared
all
his
inked up.
story.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
His story was
I
cool.
forget his name, but I follow him.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
so cool that like that's in now. Like when I got
No, I
sober, I was
mean,
like,
yeah, I got into slamming dope a little while.
I got close, dude.
Not H, but Coke.
You know, thank God. Thank God no one I shouldn't say this, but I guess nobody is really listening
Well,
to
I can edit it out.
you edit it out
We're
if you
not
think it's
live.
not good for the public. Thank God nobody told me that if I was detoxing off of one drug, I could use another to help the detox. I didn't know. Like I didn't
Yeah.
know I didn't
Yeah,
know you
I'll
could
edit
like
that out, but
drink
yeah.
booze. Yeah, like I didn't know. I had no idea, dude. I was like, if
Huh.
I drink and I'm detoxing off heroin, I'll feel better. Thank God I didn't know. Bro, like it was
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you the story. So it was a buddy of mine who was a ex like pro bodybuilder who slammed gear back in the day, like back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and he was in a couple competitions and shit. And he was not really taking care of his body, and it was during the time of Watson Blue footballs, and he made his money because he'd send homeless people to the
yeah.
crooked clinics, and he'd fill a bunch of scripts and then sell them. Anyway, so he was my homie. I got some scripts through him, but he was crashing on my couch for a little while, and I got some blow because I would drink and blow and snort it. One night he's like, "Hey, you ever slammed it?" And I was just drunk enough to where I was like, "No, fuck it, let's try." And so he did it for me because I'm new. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and he And honestly, like, I'm totally cutting all of this out, but
Yeah.
having like a 5 to 10 minute full body orgasm and then having the normal cocaine high for like 30, 40 minutes. That's how it felt. So that was a very intriguing feeling for a while. I got into doing that like once, 2, 3 times a week for like 3, 4 months. And then one day I picked up a bag from the hookup and it was much better than he was normally getting, much better quality. So I did the same amount. I sat down on my kitchen floor and belted up my arm because I knew I might like fall over if I sat anywhere high. And I literally slammed it, pulled away the belt, and I went into fish flopping for, I don't know, it could have been 5 minutes or so, a few minutes, like full body fish flop.
Fuck.
I was aware of this, but completely no control over it.
Yeah.
And I was alone in my place. I had a roommate, but he wasn't there. So I'm pretty sure I OD'd or had a seizure or something, but I came out of it. And so I finished my vodka and I went to sleep that night. And I was like, I'm not doing that again. And then the next night, my roommate was there and I still had some left. He's like, hey, I'm going to head out. And I was like, hey, can you hang out for a minute? I'm going to slam down. And like, I had a bad experience last night. I just want to make sure I don't accidentally kill myself. And I said this with like total conviction, like it wasn't anything to ask.
It's not a big deal.
And I did it. Yeah, it wasn't a big deal. And I did it. And then I did a little bit less. And that was my thought the night before. I was like, okay, next time I'm going to do a little bit less. And I did it. And I had my high and I was fine. And I think I might have done it 1 or 2 more times. But then like 2 weeks later, I realized that I had asked my roommate to make sure I didn't accidentally kill myself while sticking a needle and getting high. And I never touched a needle for cocaine again. I did coke a few more times, but I never hit it with a needle again. And it was
You remember how
a very scary time.
you remember how I said my buddy told me that if you smoke it, you can't overdose because you'll throw up?
Yeah.
So I had one overdose. That same buddy saved my life. I wouldn't even cut this out if I were you, but you do you.
Sure, I'll keep it.
This was around the time where like we were still really really young into it, and a dub of black tar would get both of us pretty good throughout the day. We
Yeah.
ended up picking up a gram of tar, and you get another 20 for free when you pick up a gram. And I got 8 Lore tabs, 8 Blue Watsons from his mom. So I
Yep.
ate all of them, and we smoked pretty much the whole gram. And I remember there was a lot of times I wanted to just die. And I was in this passenger seat, and I remember this like yesterday, dude. This was back when I had hair. My head fell in my lap. And I remember, just like you were saying, I was like, I'm overdosing. No. And I'm thinking, I'm trying to say help, but I can't. And he noticed. So I remember he picked my head up by my hair, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I just made noises. And he let my hair go and my head fell. So, and this was at GVR. We're like right in front of the movie theater. He literally left the car there, yanked me out of the car. And before he yanked me out of the car, and before he like noticed I was overdosing, I just remember going, I didn't even tell my parents I love them. Like, I thought I wanted to die, but this is scary. I don't want to die. But now it's too late. What do I do? I'm a piece of shit. And he yanked me out of the car. He threw my hand over his shoulder and forced me to walk. I couldn't barely stand up, but he forced me to walk, and it kept my heart going from stopping. I don't know how it worked, but it worked, dude. He literally dragged me all the way down to what is it? Not Whole Foods, that really expensive grocery store at the end of the GVR walking trail. But nonetheless, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about. But dude, yeah, he
Yeah.
walked
Yeah.
me up
Yeah.
and down there, and it was crazy, bro. I was like, I've never experienced that in my life, you know. The crazy part too is I had shared at a meeting that, you know, I would be in the car doing dope, and I would nod out, and I would remember waking up from a nod in a full blown like an inhale. And that's how I'd wake up, just a big inhale. And I had an old timer go, dude, that that was God saving you. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, you don't wake up taking a deep breath because everything's good, stupid. You were literally stopping to breathe and your body would kick on. I go, shit, he's probably right. You know what I mean? Like, and that happened
Yep.
so many times, alone in a parking lot, waking up, just what the fuck? Like, it was bad, dude. So yeah, everybody, I won't speak for everybody, but majority of people think that they want it all to end until you get an experience real close and you deeply regret it. Like, I don't have to worry about that today. Feels good not to have to worry about
Yep.
that today, or praying that the dime sack you could afford will actually take you out because you just don't know how to keep living on. And it's not going to. I mean, it's not. You're like, there's
Yep.
back then at least. Now there's
Yep.
fentanyl and everything. Today's a whole different ball
This
game.
is
But
true. Yeah, that's another reason I'm glad I'm sober, man. Shit's crazy now.
the thing is, though, is
Yeah.
back in the 13 years ago when we were getting sober, dude, like finding somebody who had fentanyl lollipops was like cream of the crop. That was the one thing I could never get my hands on. Then I got sober and found out my girlfriend's grandma had them in her fucking medicine cabinet in the bathroom, like in the vanity. And I'm like, if I would have known, if only I would have known, you know what I mean? But
Right.
yeah, man, now it's crazy now, dude. Back then, our biggest dilemma was like, your black tar is cut with Roxy's. It's probably shitty tar. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Nowadays, I don't miss those days, man. I don't miss those days, bro. We were on some dumbass shit. We were on some
Yes, we were,
stupid
and
shit.
somehow we fucking survived.
I don't. I'm sure you've had guns and knives in your face. I have. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I've had
Oh
friends
yeah.
rob the dope man for a quarter ounce of freaking black tar just for us to call him back 3 hours later without the friend present and him putting Glocks in our faces. Like it was a daily thing, bro. Like it was just normal. Like hop into a car and the dope man's holding a fucking Mac 10 and he's like, "You try anything, I'll fucking," you know what I mean? And I'm like, "Nah, dog. I'm like, here's $50. Give me my half gram." Or doing stupid. My dealer told me, "Bro, why don't you just pick up a fucking gram in the morning?" I go, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Dude, you call me 4 or 5 times a day for a dub. Pick up a gram. Come by once. This shit's annoying." I'm like, "You don't understand. This is my last 20.
If I
This is
do
the
that, it'll
last
be
time I'm getting."
gone.
Well, it's like, dude, you don't get it. This is the last time I'm buying a 20 sack. Like I'm just gonna take one hit and wean off. Like you don't get it. Like that's how like I wanted to stop. I was delusional about it, dude. Like dude, I try to smoke black tar off of the foil from a Dove chocolate. From a Dove chocolate. It's flammable. It's flammable. I put the only 20
I
sack
know.
of tar I had
I
on it and it
know.
went poof. I was pissed. I was fucking pissed, dude.
Oh,
Do
that's
you
a
know
good
how
one.
broke you gotta be to steal foil from Walmart? Literally, I just go into Walmart, pull out some foil, fold it up, put it in my pocket, walk out. It's $1.
Yep. Yep. Well, I mean, during my
Fucking
meth time, I
wild.
can't tell you how many times I would go into fucking Kmart and buy light bulbs in the middle of the night.
Oh, fuck. That was the dumbest thing I ever did, bro. My dealer decided to give me free meth. Yeah. Don't do crystal and tar off the same piece of foil at the same time because I would literally tweaker walk
Oh,
and then nod out holding a doorknob, and then when I wasn't nodded I was tweaking and then I would nod. It took me 2 hours to write a text message, but I typed really
damn.
fast when I was typing. Like what the fuck?
Oh,
The
man.
stupid shit we do. But yeah, bro, Diet Coke's
Oh
gonna be real
my
bad.
God. Yep.
Don't drink Diet Coke.
Yep. That fucking saccharin, man. Fucking artificial sweeteners are going to kill me. Oh, God, the
Dude,
days.
our liver and kidneys saw 57 different things that they cut our bullshit with. You really think that my liver and kidneys is like sucralose? Easy. Easy, but aspartame all day, baby. All day. Just don't put that tar back in me. We're good.
Right? Fuck. All right. Well,
Life's
Alex,
good,
I
man.
can't tell you how much I've appreciated this, and I
Same.
appreciate your time. And I've learned a bit more about you. So we've known each other for many years, but I'm really happy to hear the full story. Well, most of the full story, and I know there's many, many other little pieces of it, as we all
Oh
have.
yeah. It's never
But
enough time.
how about you? You tell people how to see you, how to follow you, where to come get a mechanic if you want to throw that out there.
Yeah, why not? So we have a shop in North Salt Lake. It's called Evolutionary Performance. You can find us either on Facebook or Instagram. Instagram's just going to be Evolutionary Performance underscore UT for Utah. And then my personal page, it's gonna be a bunch of gym bro stuff. So it's on Instagram. It's the Anabolic Oracle, Alex Martirosov. If you're into that type of stuff, come shoot me a follow or send me a DM if you need some freaking help staying sober, man.
Much appreciated. And everybody here should know where to find me. Links are in the description. And obviously, you probably found me from my socials, but I'll link them anyway. Thank you again, man.
Thank you, brother.
Hold on a sec. I'm going to wrap it up and then
I got you.